Welcome to Fascinating Frontiers, episode 36. Today is March 8th, 2026. A new study proposes space weather scrambles alien radio signals evading SETI detectors. A new study proposes space weather scrambles alien radio signals evading SETI detectors. All right, let's dive right into that intriguing idea because it's got me thinking about why our corner of the universe feels so quiet. According to a recent study highlighted on space.com, researchers are suggesting that interstellar plasma, those clouds of charged particles drifting between stars, could be distorting alien radio signals in ways that make them impossible for our current SETI detectors to pick up. The team modeled how these plasmas might smear narrowband signals, which are the tight, focused frequencies we've been listening for, turning them into broad, undetectable smears over time and distance. This ties into the Fermi paradox, that big question of where everyone is. By offering a plausible reason we've missed potential extraterrestrial chatter. It's not that they're not out there, but that space weather is scrambling the message before it reaches us. What's fascinating here is the human ingenuity behind this. The researchers drew from real SETI search data and plasma physics to build their models, showing how something as mundane as cosmic weather could be the culprit. It opens up exciting possibilities for redesigning our detectors to hunt for these broader signals, maybe even boosting our odds of finally making contact. I love how this blends cosmic mysteries with practical tweaks to our tech. Imagine if a simple adjustment lets us hear from out there. It's a reminder that the universe might be chattier than we think. Now, shifting gears to something a bit more down to earth, or at least visible from your backyard, let's talk about what's lighting up the night sky this week. Astronomy magazine is pointing out that spiral galaxy NGC 2541 is putting on a show for observers right now, especially if you've got a decent telescope or even binoculars in a dark spot. This galaxy with its swirling arms of stars and gas is one of those accessible targets that reminds us how seasonal changes affect what we can see. Daylight saving time kicks in soon, shifting our evenings, and you've also got Venus cozying up to Saturn for a planetary meetup. Why does this matter? Well, it's a great entry point for stargazing. Events like these make astronomy feel immediate and personal, connecting us to the vastness without needing a spaceship. From an engineering angle, think about how amateur astronomers use tools like star charts and apps to track these. It's all about precision timing and understanding orbital mechanics on a cosmic scale. Personally, I find it quietly inspiring. On a clear night in Vancouver, spotting something like NGC 2541 makes the universe feel a little less distant, and it's a nudge to grab friends or family and look up together. On a different note, let's explore some clever biology happening way up on the International Space Station. Turns out microbes are pulling their weight in ways that could change how we mine resources off-planet. Universe Today reports that astronauts have been experimenting with bacteria and fungi to extract metals from rocks in microgravity, essentially using these tiny organisms for biomining. The process involves letting the microbes break down the rock and pull out valuable elements like rare earth metals, which worked surprisingly well even without Earth's gravity pulling things along. This is significant for future deep space missions. Imagine sustainably harvesting resources on Mars or an asteroid instead of hauling everything from Earth, cutting down on launch costs and environmental impact. The human story here is compelling. These experiments stem from collaborations between biologists, astronauts, and engineers, turning what sounds like science fiction into tested reality. It's got me curious about the engineering challenges like controlling microbial growth in a closed spaceship environment, but if it pans out, it could make long-term exploration way more feasible. My take? It's a smart, low-tech solution to a high-tech problem, showing how nature's tricks might be key to our cosmic ambitions. Speaking of captivating visuals from space, there's a new photo that's got people seeing all sorts of shapes in the stars. Let's unpack that. Space.com shared an image of a supernova remnant nebula about 5,000 light-years away, and it's evoking everything from a jellyfish to a human brain with its glowing tendrils and intricate patterns. Captured by advanced telescopes, this remnant is what's left after a massive star exploded, scattering material that forms these dynamic structures over millennia. The significance lies in what it tells us about stellar life cycles. Supernovae like this seed the galaxy with heavy elements, basically forging the building blocks for planets and life as we know it. From a scientific angle, studying these shapes helps astronomers model explosion dynamics and interstellar chemistry, piecing together how the universe recycles its matter. I appreciate the artistic side too. It's a reminder of the beauty and destruction, and sharing these images fosters public wonder. Maybe it'll inspire the next generation of astronomers. Honestly, it makes me reflect on how our brains love finding familiar patterns in the chaos, turning raw data into something almost poetic. Now, for a bit of community celebration in the space world, there's a podcast milestone that's worth noting. It's always fun when passion projects hit big numbers. Space.com notes that the This Week in Space podcast, hosted by Rod Pyle and Tariq Malik, just reached their 200th episode with a special focused on listener questions and favorite space topics. This achievement highlights the human side of astronomy. It's about building a community where enthusiasts share discoveries, debates, and excitement over everything from black holes to Mars rovers. Why is it significant? Podcasts like this democratize space knowledge, making complex ideas accessible and keeping the conversation going beyond academic circles. The host's ongoing enthusiasm, drawing from years of reporting, shows how personal stories drive science communication, inspiring listeners to dive deeper. As someone who loves chatting about space myself, I see this as a win for engagement. It's like a virtual gathering of curious minds, and milestones like this keep the momentum alive. My brief take: congrats to them. It's a testament to how sharing wonder can sustain a show for years, and it might even spark new podcasters in the field. Transitioning to something a tad more futuristic and fun, let's touch on how video games are borrowing from real space themes to build immersive worlds. Bungie's developers, as detailed on space.com, are infusing their new marathon extraction shooter with retrofuturism, pulling narrative lessons from their work on Destiny to create a sci-fi universe full of space exploration vibes. The game's aesthetic blends old-school sci-fi with modern twists, focusing on storytelling that immerses players in scenarios like alien worlds and high-tech conflicts. This matters because it bridges entertainment and education. Games like this can spark interest in real astronomy by making concepts like interstellar travel feel tangible and exciting. From an engineering perspective, the devs talk about designing mechanics that echo space challenges, like resource management in hostile environments, which mirrors actual mission planning. The human element is the creative team's passion for space lore, turning inspirations from real science into engaging narratives that players can inhabit. I find it intriguing how this could influence future exploration. Who knows? A gamer inspired by Marathon might end up designing real spacecraft someday. Wrapping up our stories with a nod to history, because understanding where we've come from shapes where we're going in astronomy. Astronomy magazine reminds us that today marks the birth of John Herschel in 1792, the son of famed astronomer William Herschel, who made huge strides in cataloging nebulae and stars. John's contributions included mapping thousands of celestial objects in the southern skies, building on his father's work, and advancing observational techniques with better telescopes and systematic surveys. This is significant for planetary formation studies today. His catalogs helped lay the groundwork for understanding how stars and galaxies evolve, influencing modern databases. The human story shines through. As a dedicated observer, he traveled to South Africa for clearer views, embodying the curiosity and perseverance that drives astronomers even now. From a future exploration angle, his legacy inspires missions like the James Webb Space Telescope, which build on those early catalogs to probe deeper into the cosmos. It's a quiet but profound reminder that today's breakthroughs stand on the shoulders of folks like Herschel, and it makes me appreciate the long arc of discovery. Before we go, keep an eye on how that space weather study might lead to revamped SETI detectors. Next time, we'll be watching for any early results or redesign ideas that could finally crack the silence from the stars. That's Fascinating Frontiers for today. If you enjoyed this episode, a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify really helps new listeners find the show. I'm Patrick in Vancouver. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Drifting softly through the